I've known you guys for ages. But still, they're always...
90s, right?
Yeah, man.
90s.
90s, man. Since I was, I think... Let me think now.
Can you remember exactly the first time we met?
You were playing in Shang.
Not in Shang.
Wait. Intercon.
No.
Hey, shucks. Conrad.
No, Four Seasons.
Was it Four Seasons?
And then you were smoking a cigar. I can still remember that very day, you know. You were smoking a cigar. You were smoking a cigar. And then I asked you, is that a Cohiba? I said, what is that?
And I was a noob, right? I was a noob because I probably was going at a Romeo Juliet because the only that bloody brand I knew then.
Is that a Cohiba? He thought it was a bad word. What is this?
Who was it there? Which means I was 27.
I would guess around 1994, 95.
Oh, really?
Around there, maybe 95, 96.
95, 96. Likely.
Not so
definitely not 94.
I started in 94 in Four Seasons.
Right.
94 to 2001.
It could be 95, 96 because that's when I knew Kenneth Louis. Yeah, it was from Four Seasons when he was there. That's when I...
Tummy.
He would say, abs. So, anyway, this part we had to cut, for sure, because nobody bloody understand what we just talked about. I will just say this, people, two persons I hold in very high regard, and they're here for me to give tribute to. And I can tell you one thing though, I've known them for so long since, as Boni just mentioned to me before we started the show, and see lah, this one drop lah, so must push up like that lah. Okay, before we started the show, is that I've known them since I was about maybe 25, 26 years old. And that was a mighty long time ago because I'm 54 right now, but of course they're older than me.
Wow. Well, that is really a long time, huh?
Yeah.
We didn't celebrate our 25th anniversary, yeah?
Hey, yeah, man. Actually, you're quite right, huh? Yeah, man, I'm bloody 54 now, Oh, man. Next year I can get, rebate, discounts going in to watch a movie or something else. Senior citizens discount. Don't play a fool. So can you imagine, I was a very young man and I knew these guys and they were already giants, man. Giants in the music business. And as I was doing research, even though despite the fact that I've known them for so long, I still due diligence would have me find out a little bit more. And I never knew. Now, the person on my left, my guest that we are paying tribute to as well, is Boniface Marcelinus De Souza.
A very long name.
I mean,
I was named after the Pope.
What?
A Pope and a saint.
Did we have a Marcelinus?
Marcelinus was a saint. Boniface was a Pope. Pope Boniface the Eighth.
Boniface, yes, that's right.
I don't know whether he was a good Pope or not.
Okay.
But that was I was named after him.
So now we're going to go to the direction. They're bad popes. Oh, yeah. Historically, we cannot run away from the fact.
Yeah.
Okay. So Boni, I was quite surprised. We call him Boni, by the way, for short. And on my right, I'm going to continue that later on. On my right, I have his lovely wife.
Hi.
And she's also a very, very talented person.
Thank you.
Also very, very highly qualified muso. And she is Wendy Low. Thank you. Well, thank you for being here and welcome to the studio.
Thank you for inviting me.
No, not at all, man. It's been ages since I've seen you guys,
Yes.
really. It's so good to have you guys.
Wonderful to be here. Thank you for inviting us.
No,
Chris.
my pleasure, man. My pleasure, man.
It's been, as you said, it's been ages, more than ages.
Yeah. And you jogged my memory just before we started shooting. I mean, it's like...
Cohiba.
They are the classiest couple in the music business. I can tell you that much. Okay, they eat stuff that I can't even freaking pronounce. Food that is just, what the hell is that? And honestly, I became a cigar aficionado because of Boni, and it's so embarrassing because I only knew one freaking brand of cigars to smoke at a time when I was just about 25 or 26 years old, and I got well schooled by Boniface De Souza. Okay.
You mean spoiled?
Oh yeah, and that too, man, and that too. But really, frankly, I am very grateful. I've never said this to you,
Thank you.
but I'm very grateful for a few things. And this is serious, yeah? Back then, you gave the opportunity for me to be with players that frightened the shit out of me, if you remember. And every time it's like, oh my God, what am I going to do? But I'm so grateful because I got to play with these guys.
But you did it, man. You did it.
I
And
mean-
you made it.
Yeah.
You made the cut, man.
I don't know about that though. All I knew is I was like, shit. You have the feeling when you get when you're sweating just about practically, but every part of your body just starts to sweat, you know. And you see guys like Eddie Sankap,
Yeah.
and you see guys like the late Sanit.
Victor Gaskin.
Oh, jeez. And just to be in the company of these guys, and you, of course, and yourself as well, Wendy. I mean, it was scary, but what a hell of an experience.
Yes.
And I'm always very grateful to you for that, man. You know, but you remember this other thing that you did, carriage bar.
Carriage bar.
Do you
carriage
remember?
Bar. Yeah. Carriage bar. Why? Okay.
You,
What did
you
I
had
do?
me there for 3 nights. Thunderbirds.
That's something I
You don't remember? York Hotel.
Yeah, because I was supplying, or rather, I was a consultant there and bringing in shows for them.
Yeah.
I had Ali Ahmad in,
Yeah.
and a few others doing single night shows there.
Yeah, correct.
And you came in and did,
Yeah, for 3 nights.
Wow.
It was 3 nights. He brought me in for 3 nights to do the happy hour. It was 1 hour gig per night.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was 3 consecutive nights.
Ah.
And it was so funny because they put up this poster of me. It's a promo poster. And it says Elvis is coming on for 3 nights. And I swear that was the first time ever in my years of doing this that I actually did something in a place like a bar or club.
Seriously? Oh,
Yeah. After that, I started doing stuff
Yeah.
for bars and places and hotels.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, that was one of the first.
The
places.
first.
Wow,
It
fantastic.
was the first time.
Wow.
And it was this man that got me on board doing something like that.
Thank you.
And you know,
That means I stole your virginity. Is it?
yeah, a little bit, yeah. That's why-
musical virginity.
That's why I had early onset of piles because of Boni. This guy really threw me in the deep end, you know. And you threw me in the deep end. I didn't complain about it. I want to do it.
Yeah.
It was going to be.
You were so keen. So I didn't.
I'm
think
always
it was,
keen, man.
I didn't think it was in a deep end. You kind of wanted it.
Because I loved it. It was scary. For me, it's still a deep end because I've never done these things before.
Okay.
But as a young man, you gave me these things that I could really get myself into, get my feet wet, right?
Wonderful.
And that I will never forget.
I'm so
Carriage
happy I
Bar.
did that. I'm so happy I
But
did
you
that.
were not there because you went there. Okay, when I was there, you were there. You say, okay, Chris, you're here. You do the show. Then you were not there for the next 2 nights as well, right? So you know what actually happened in Carriage Bar?
What happened?
I had to run away at the end of the show
Why?
and ran my ass out of Carriage Bar
Why?
to get myself to my car and drive off
Why?
because the aunties were grouping me lah. And you don't look at me like that now, people. When I was 26, 27,
but-
25, 26 years old, I was
Fans are
quite
fans,
something, man, okay?
Fans are
Yeah.
fans, huh?
And I had hands all over my ass, I can tell you. And I had to run the hell out of the damn place every night. And I was going, bloody hell, Bonnie, bloody hell.
Because what was in their mind was Elvis is alive.
Oh gosh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. All I know is a lot of old, lonely ladies were there. And Parliament gig, remember that one?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, what a night!
The closing ceremony of the old Parliament. And the whole cabinet was there, including the late.
Mr. Lee Kuan Yew.
Yes,
And he was at the center, right? Right on the stage
Center.
where we were. It was right in the center, right down there.
That was really something, huh?
Yeah. And you know, if I got my facts right, I was the first MC for something like that.
Wow.
And to be invited, we were not really paid. We were invited, and it was.
I don't know about you, but I was paid.
Okay. I wasn't, but so good, better still. I was really invited, and I got the band in, right? And we got in, and we had such a eye-opening affair, wasn't it?
And then just imagine, exactly 20 years later, I did another ceremony of Parliament.
Bloody hell, never invite me.
No, they just call me as a trio to play only, that's all. They didn't ask me to do any show.
I saw that in your socials, and I went, bloody hell, Boni. I thought of him. You think of me this time round. The last time I thought of this guy.
They didn't ask for an MC.
Oh, thanks very much. I could have gone there to sing.
And you know who was the MC?
Uh-huh.
The MP, Daryl David, was the MC.
I'm sure they had a great time.
So they had an in-house MC.
Hey, Daryl, I'm sure they had a great time. Bloody hell. I saw that post. It was quite recent. I said,
not recent, 2020.
No, la.
2024, no?
Okay, la. To me, that's recent. COVID made everything, shortened lives quite a bit in many ways, many more ways than one. And I saw that, in your socials, and I went, oh, buddy, why am I not there? This is not right.
Next one you should be.
But how was it? Was it fun?
It was fun, yeah. And then
were you there,
after, yeah.
Yes.
Just the three of us only.
And
Myself, Bonita, and Wendy.
Okay, Bonita's their daughter. She's also super talented. She plays the violin, right?
Violin, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I tell you, the cigars, the port, the atas makan.
Remember that one night when it was a guys' night, we went and we had with us Kenneth, the two Kenneths, Kenneth Law, Kenneth Louis, and then we had Louis, your old friend, the lawyer, Martin and so on. And then we had this, we went to one of the clubs run by Fu, what's his name?
Odin Fu. Chef Odin.
No, not chef. The former entrepreneur. Club.
Dennis Fu. We were at
one of his clubs, and then we ordered the 1994 Taylor's Port. Remember?
Yeah, and he was there with us, and they decanted it for us, right?
Yeah. And then he sat down and drank with us.
Yeah,
and then after everybody had a sip, suddenly it was silence for a minute and a half.
Yeah,
you remember that?
Yeah. Yeah,
it's still in my mind.
Yeah,
I'm still chasing that 1994 if I can find.
Hey, Dennis Fu, shout out to Dennis Fu. Miss you too, man. Have not seen you in a couple of years. And that was the first time I had the opportunity to sit down with Dennis Fu. The first time ever, and he was on my previous podcast. He was on my show twice.
Oh, wonderful!
Yeah. And I reminded him. I said, actually, that was the first time I ever sat down and had a chit chat with you. And great guy, real great guy, really nice guy. Yeah, and just to showcase to you guys, how fantastic Boni is. I'm gonna play this little audio for you, right? Something that I cannot pronounce, like the food these people eat, It's a bloody songs I cannot bloody pronounce. I just don't understand it. And these people like to all the atas things, even the bloody music is atas. Okay. So now we're going to play this little thing for you, just a little bit of it, just a snippet of it. This is Boni in action. Can we play that, please?
Whoa, thank you.
There you go. And that must be Wendy on the flute.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Kai.
Thank you.
Just listening to that, man. Even if you guys are not here, even if it was not for the show, and I listen to that and I hear it somewhere, I can kind of recognize that it's the two of you.
Thank you. Wow.
No, really. There's something about the styling that tells me that's Boni and Wendy.
Oh, wow.
Wonderful.
No,
Thank
really.
you.
No, really. Seriously. It's this something about it.
You could identify it straight away. Without even knowing
no doubt.
what the song is. Yeah.
No doubt.
Thank you.
And another reason is that I can't bloody pronounce the title of the damn freaking song. So
do you want to tell them what the title is?
I was about to ask you. How do you pronounce the song, man?
ODV.
You see?
Eaudevie.
When I saw the title, I actually thought Audi toilet, I know lah. Audi cologne, I know lah. You know? Audi V, boss?
Essence of life.
Okay.
It's also an essence lah.
Atas on this fella. These people have atas or no? I tell you, really. I don't understand this. Okay, now I'm gonna do things this way because I definitely don't want to leave anyone lonely.
Sure.
Okay, and I'm always the meat in the middle, and I got the two buns on left and right always. Sandwich.
Burger,
I got a sandwich lah. I got to always be the wedge, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with Boni first. I'm gonna come over to Wendy, okay? And the camera's gonna come to you, and that's your cam. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna just ask Boni because these are things I don't know, no?
Okay.
So I want to find out from you. Your earliest memory of music now. Did you pound the keys before you could walk or what?
No, I did in my childhood, of course. But this was through the influence of my eldest brother. Because I was like about 6 years old, 7 years old, when he came back from the States. He didn't go to study music, he went to study literature. So he came back after doing his course there. And then he came back with a lot of music influence. His LPs he had, jazz LPs.
Oh, he came back with LPs. Okay.
Yeah, jazz LPs. So because in the States, he was exposed to different kind of music. Whereas here, we were listening in the 60s to rock and roll, popular music of the day. But he came back with all these
unusual stuff.
Yeah, unusual stuff. And then he told my mother, he said, you must send Boni for piano lessons. So I said, why? Because he needs to learn piano. Because I was a kid that I always stuck at home. I was a sickly child,
Right.
So I was always stuck at home and then always nothing to do. So he said, you must send him for piano lessons. So then she went to buy a piano, second-hand piano at that time.
And you were 6, 7 years old.
Seven about. I started only about 8 lah.
Right.
There was some time before we actually did it lah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so about 8, then I started piano lessons.
Okay.
And then started classical piano and then carried on from there. And it's only later in my early teens, after primary 6, I was in SJI.
Right.
I guess the influence of the SJI boys. And all
Here
that,
we go. Yeah.
So we were listening to Cream, Uriah Heep, all this Led Zeppelin stuff.
No, best.
And then suddenly I wanted to play some pop and rock stuff. So you remember this? I don't know whether you can remember this magazine. In the early days, there was one magazine that had music sheets in it.
Yeah, okay.
Fanfare.
Yeah. My goodness me. The one I was in primary 1. Boss.
Yeah. So, of course. Our difference in our ages. Fanfare magazine, the first pop music that I played was a sheet I took out from Fanfare magazine because I learned how to read music. So I didn't know the song. And then I started to play this song like Close to You, Love Story. Every week they'll come up with a new sheet.
Okay, yeah.
So I would try to play this. And slowly developed from there, the interest developed. And plus the influence from my brother is listening to Monk, all this jazz, and Miles Davis, all that is listening at home. So the fusion of all this influence, pop, jazz, and rock in school. So that was my foundation for my music life later on.
So if I were to ask you who or what you would attribute your musical journey to, your number one influence, am I right to say it's your brother?
I think that would be correct because if I look back on it, he was the one that planted the seed. So when he planted the seed, and at that time we didn't know what was going on, but when he put that idea into my mom's head, and then she brought me for enrolled me for piano lessons.
And after that, the piano became your weapon of choice.
My axe of choice, yeah.
and nothing else besides the piano.
No, later on I learned the guitar. Okay, funny story. When I went into the army, I wanted to join the music and drama company.
SFMDC.
Yeah, so I went in and then I want to audition. So I told them I play the piano. Then the captain said, we already have 4 pianists here. We don't need any more pianists. So can you play some other thing? I said, I can play a bit of the bass. And I said, okay, there's only one bassist here. But I was not really a pro bassist. I could play a little bit. Yeah, so the bassist jumped at it. The late Raj, that time, Raj, later on he became music director at SBC.
Right.
Yeah. So that time he was the bassist there and he was alone. So every show he had to go. So he said, don't worry, I'll teach him. but watch for the clincher. He said, I'll teach him. So one day, so I was just practicing in the studio in the MDC. And I said, hey, today you go for a show. I said, but you haven't taught me yet.
Deep end. You see?
So I was told
no wonder the bugger did this to me, boy. Because it happened to you first, man.
How did you laugh? What happened in the show? No? So I was, there was a drama skit. And part of it was Pink Panther team only played by the bassist. No? So I practiced already, ready to play. So on the day, on the show time, the guy was queuing me. I was like hesitating. Do I start now? After 30 seconds of hesitation, there is like the Pink Panther was waiting for me. That was funny.
Yeah, but okay. But anyway, whatever happened is that you decided consciously to really hone your craft on the piano.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Yeah, that one really became your weapon of choice.
Yes.
Now this is where I'm going to pay close attention to Wendy.
Okay.
How did you start off?
I come from a family that likes to listen to music.
Okay.
From my dad to my brother to my sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So dad likes to listen to Chinese music like Feng Fei Fei.
Wow.
Teresa Ting.
Uh-huh.
My brother likes to listen to Deep Purple.
Wow, that's like a different.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you swap over to Deep Purple.
My second sister likes to listen to David Gates, Michael Jackson 5.
Right.
And all the Bread song. So every time there is a new LP that comes out, we have it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's always music in the house.
Yes, every day, every hour. Yeah.
And how did you start?
In primary school, I was in St. Margaret's Primary School.
Mm-hmm.
I had a very good music teacher, and then we had recorder lessons. We had harmonica lessons,
right.
and then we had that organ that you use your feet to step on and to create the air in the organ.
Oh, is it? Is there such a thing?
So I'm always volunteering for any musical instruments.
Why did you volunteer?
Because I like the sound. I like to play.
So basically, innately inside you, there's this thing that you love about music.
That's right. And I found out from my dad that before he came to Singapore, he was actually...
Where was he from?
He was from China.
Right.
And he played the erhu and the dizi for this opera troupe.
Wow.
In his hometown. So I never knew that until very much when I was in my secondary school years.
Okay.
And he went to Yuyi Emporium when it was still around, and he bought two erhu and some dizi, the whole set of dizi, and he played for me, and I was so amazed.
So that bowled you over, basically.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, and then the influence you're saying, okay, for a fact, is from home, and then in school you learn various little instruments. That's what school does with the recorder.
Right.
And stuff like that.
The recorder is actually the beginning, the fingering and the blowing method of all the woodwind instruments.
Okay.
From the clarinet to the oboe to the saxophone to the flute.
Okay, now that you're telling me if it's a blowing instrument, it means your weapon of choice is not actually the piano. It is the flute.
I started with the piano because of my music teacher. So she went and approached my mom, who fetched me to school every day, and told her that I was really very, musically inclined, and I love music because of my enthusiasm I showed in class. So my mom sent me to piano and organ lessons.
Right.
Right.
So you started at the piano, but eventually, if I were to ask now, the Boni is also here, your husband's here. If we were to really, really go out there and do a promotion and we say, we have got Wendy Low and she is flute.
Yep, on flute, yeah.
More than it is piano. So basically, you are known more as a flautist.
That's right.
Right? Am I right to say it's flautist, right? Flautist. Huh?
That's right.
Right, you're not flutist, huh? Or you're
Both.
cannot
Both
be la flautist
applicable.
la. No la cannot be la
Flautist.
flautist, right?
Yeah.
Hello, English 101, okay? Don't play a fool. It cannot be flutist. All you nonsense people out there. Always say, hey, she's a flutist, your backside, flutist is flautist, okay? You see how good this podcast is. We even teach people. It's educational.
And they always indicate flute this way.
Okay, wait. Maybe I'm an idiot too. This one wrong there? Oh yeah, it's the same.
No, it's like that.
But like
It's like
that.
that.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Opposite
One
direction.
is opposite direction.
Yes.
Okay. So
Balance the forces.
we are all a bunch of fools. Don't even want to hold a damn flute properly. But she plays a mean flute.
Thank you.
And so talented because when she I used to see you play in hotels as well, piano. Solo.
That's right,
she
yeah.
plays
I tell you really, the house, I tell you today, if you go to their house, it's always music. Okay? Terror and happy like bird, I tell you, go there. Yeah, because the house, I got plenty of birds at it, song and everything. Yeah, man. Okay, so I want to, you guys have answered a couple of questions. I checked out a lot of questions lined up, but you've answered some of your answers that you've given me has actually answered the questions I've got, some of it.
Oh,
anyway.
okay.
I wanted to ask you guys, and I think it's still okay to ask. If your opinion,
Yep.
I know you went through lessons, yeah?
Yes.
And looking at the way you guys play, and even today, I mean, today when I listen to you guys and I see you in your socials, and I do listen to what you guys do.
Oh, thank
thank you.
you.
I do, I really do. And it is, you can hear, one thing you can hear is that, oh my gosh, the experience. It's all over. It's written all over. You can just feel the weight of the experience. Okay? But I've known you guys for a long time. At that time, you were already great.
Thanks.
Okay? But today, it's heavy with the experience.
Yes.
And with that, leads me to this. Do you both consider, despite the fact that you've actually got formal lessons and training, to be prodigies in this music world of yours? Do you think you're prodigious? Do you think you are real prodigies?
I wouldn't say, I wouldn't use the term prodigious or being a prodigy, because a prodigy is, as the way I define it, we've taught some of our students who are prodigies, yeah?
Okay.
From young, okay? So what happens in a prodigy, from our experience, is that they have inherited the mind maps of either their parents or their ancestor that has these mind maps, because you don't develop the mind maps just like that.
Wait, stop there, because I only got 4 levels. Now, when you say mind maps, let's try to define that. No, I know what mind mapping is. I'm not all that dumb.
Okay,
yeah. But when you say, because you said something about the ancestors, if they've got a certain thing, I mean, if they got, like your dad, for example, right? So, okay. So from there, you're saying that it's in the DNA?
Yes.
Or what do you mean
DNA,
by mind map?
But rather than, because psychologists or psychiatrists would express it as mind map rather than DNA, because mind map, there's code written in the mind, so to speak, and it remains in that person's, probably, I don't know, handed down through the genes or what.
Right.
But then it goes through either the next generation or maybe it skips generation.
Right.
Yeah. So some people who at a young age can do things that some musician does in their 20s.
Right. But they're doing it younger.
Yes.
So it's
So it doesn't mean that they didn't have any training, no, because they are born with this. So all it takes is, say, a teacher to show them, okay, this is the keys, and you know, show them some exercises and train them a little bit, basic training. Suddenly everything clicks and it comes.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's really natural born genius behind the things that they specialize in.
Yeah. So I'm not saying we are prodigies because we maybe have the mind maps or some musical mind maps that our forefathers brought down to us.
Yep.
Yes, and we inherited.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not that kind of mind maps where they are fantastic musicians and then you've inherited that.
So I would just forget about the psychologists and the psychiatrists. These people are sometimes can be a bit mad, but I'm sorry, Dr. Geraldine Tan, didn't mean that. I'm only kidding, okay? Don't get angry, okay? I would just say that it's a DNA. I mean, if you've got...
Part of the DNA, but you, as they say, genius is 90% hard work. So you need to put the work in.
Yes.
And on that note, because I remember a story you told me, Boni, and it's something you need to know.
Okay.
I remember this so vividly. For all these years, when you were playing, should I say this? You were playing every night. There was a time in your life.
Yes, regular, yeah.
Every night, and you played so much, and you practiced so much to your fingers bled.
No, I don't think my fingers bled.
Was it bled? No. There was something about you. You played.
There must be a patient you visited.
No. It was you.
SGH.
No. It was you. It was you because you showed me a picture. A very, very young you.
Oh, okay. Now you've triggered the memory.
Yeah.
I was playing with Luis Soriano. 1978. I remember it clearly because he didn't mic my piano and I had to bang the piano hard. It's not because I played a lot.
But the lesson behind that, why you told me that before, was to emphasize to me the amount of effort that had to be put in to the craft in order to do the things you do.
The effort lah. But not the bleeding thing lah.
No. Maybe because it's been decades, right? Maybe it wasn't bleeding, but something for effect. Your hands were hurting.
Blistered.
Yes. Thank you so much. Blistered.
Like you play the guitar, you play it a lot, you develop blisters. But piano, you don't develop blisters. But if you play too much, your arms get tired.
But correct me if I'm wrong. There was also another reason why you told me that.
Why? I wanted you to learn piano, is it?
No lah, rubbish lah. was because I think you were saving up to earn the money, saving up to marry Wendy.
Oh, wow.
I don't think at that time we met yet.
Yeah.
No, the bleeding part, and now that you said blistering, maybe, but one thing for sure I remember is that you worked so hard.
Saving up to buy a house lah.
Yeah, well, basically settled down with Wendy.
I think that was before lah, because I bought a house before I married her.
That's right.
Yeah, and you told me that story, and then you worked so hard.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, I used to. She knows I used to work 3-4 jobs.
Yes.
Yeah, I used to teach at Yamaha, do sessions at a recording studio, do a happy hour gig at the Sheraton, and then the final gig at night at Hyatt. So 4 jobs a day.
Yes.
And you got to know something though. Whenever FD and I, right, the Flying Dutchman.
Yep.
And myself, we've had an MC academy for many years.
Oh,
right?
okay.
And then just before COVID, we decided to call it a day.
Okay.
Fortunately, we did. I've never stopped teaching though. And during the course of 30 plus batches that we've had came in and out, and including students that I teach today.
Yeah.
And people inadvertently or inevitably would actually pose this question about how do we market ourselves? How do we, basically besides being good at your craft, right? As entertainers, let's call it broad, yeah, entertainers, regardless of what instrument or whatever you do on stage. And my answer would always be two things to take note of. One, Elvis has this motto. It's called taking care of business.
Yep.
Your craft, you can always improve.
Of course.
You can practice, you can rehearse, you can improve. The business, you got to learn. You got to take care of that first.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is that I learned this personally from one other person, a muso, who always takes care of that first. And that is you.
Thank you. Yeah. I didn't realize I did that.
You see, that's the thing. You see, sometimes this is great for the older set of musos, including the younger set of musos today. If not for guys like you guys, guys like me, and the impression you make on guys like me, because I'm younger, you would be surprised. Yeah. I gave the same tribute to Jason and Anne. They don't even know that they were responsible for inspiring people like me, right? And you guys, until today, you didn't know that there were lessons I've learned.
Exactly. Yeah.
Until you shared. Yeah. And I tell you something, man. Your Porsche 924, right?
Wow. He remembers that.
Yeah.
That was in the 80s, man.
Yeah. And I was like gila about a Porsche because of this guy. And the handbrake on the right side, handbrake on the right side. One handbrake is $300 for one handbrake. And I've always asked myself, this guy's a musician. And he's always lived a good life. And it's true. Like I said earlier, I've been saying it all the while. Eat food I cannot pronounce. Smoke cigars, there are brands that I also cannot pronounce. So now that means he can speak two languages. No, can speak Cuban, not Cuban. Can speak Spanish.
Can speak
and then can speak French also because of the food that he eats. Also, he French, so I cannot bloody pronounce. The song he plays also, bloody Italian names, or maybe French names, also cannot bloody pronounce. And you've always lived a good life, man. I mean, it's you. And I tell students this,
I never saw it that way. No, I just thought I was just living. That's all.
No, that's the thing. But you have to understand, even if your contemporaries, because they're friends of mine too. Sometimes I bring up your name. I say, do you know Boni De Souza? Look at that guy, man. Is he struggling? I don't think so. He's enjoying. He's always been enjoying what he does. He takes care of business first.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that point because. If you don't take care of business, you may be a wonderful musician, but you'll be left in the dust.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a band, if you put a band, a group of session players together from a band, which you've done many times.
Yeah, many times.
You got to make sure that everyone toes the line.
Of course.
You got to make sure the client's happy, right?
Yeah.
And you have to learn how to manage people.
Correct.
And I've seen you do all that.
Oh, okay.
And that's why I felt so bad because there was one particular show I did with you guys, if you remember, and I mucked it up.
Can't remember.
I mucked it up. I got it all wrong. There's one show I'll never forget for the rest of my life. And I told myself after that show, I'm never going to let it happen again.
So we must do one show now.
I was wondering when he's going to ask, boss.
Yes.
Okay.
To relive and make that memory better.
Man, yes. Boni, I'll jump at the opportunity, man.
Erase that negative thought.
Jump at the opportunity, man. If I were to ask you, Wendy, who's your musical hero? At the top of your head, very quickly, without much hesitation, who would it be?
My husband.
Wow. I better move backwards a little bit. Wow.
I thought you were going to say your dad will influence you, no? Huh?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
And why do you say that? Can I ask you to express that a little bit more?
He does that. He does everything to perfection, to a T. Yeah. He makes sure every step is covered, every aspect is taken care of.
Wow. First time on my show, man, I get this. Right now, this awkward silence in the studio. Wow, Wendy, that was wonderful, Wendy.
I am overwhelmed.
It happens on the Chris Hansen conversation, trust me, all the time. So, Boni, better be politically correct here, boy. Who's your music hero?
Okay, I have a muse and a music hero. Different.
Wow, clever.
Muse is
why?
my wife.
Just steady, brother.
Because when I first met her, she wasn't in the music business.
Yes.
She was in real estate.
Yes.
You're not joking.
When I first met her, I was playing piano and I did a gig in the old Sheraton, Anna Hotel. So I went upstairs to play a gig. The management asked me, "Oh, there's a wedding. Can you play piano?" So I went, "Okay." I mean, did a gig lah.
Wait. Let me get this right. Because right now my timelines are going crazy. You were not a professional musician at that time?
No.
So,
but
why?
she played flute. She knew how to play flute and she played flute well, but she was not a professional.
Why not? Why didn't you do that? What made you not do it? May I ask?
Because I graduated from Ngee Poly,
right,
in real estate.
In real estate,
and building management.
Yeah, building management.
Totally different.
Building maintenance and management. I graduated in.
And how long were you doing that for?
Not very long. Yeah, because I was with my with a firm, WTM Tucson. Actually, it was called City Valuers before. For a couple of years, and I was the sales and leasing executive.
And what made you eventually became a full-time musician, right?
I was already taking lessons, both organ, piano, and flute lessons from young. So my flute teacher asked me to share a job with him at Regent Hotel. That's where he saw me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where the first job I started at Regent Hotel in the.
She was working with a string ensemble.
Yes.
5-piece or 6-piece or something. 4-piece. Yeah. So she was playing flute, and then I did see her there, but then I met her in Sheraton when I was playing piano for her friend's wedding.
Friend's sister.
Friend's sister's wedding. So then she sent me a request.
No.
Do you play any Chick Corea? I mean, just imagine a wedding guest asking me whether I can play Chick Corea. So she was surprised when I obliged and played Spain for her on the piano. Then she got surprised that how come this solo pianist can play Spain? So I had to thank her because she praised me and sent me a card. So I went to just thank her and all that. Then later on, some months later, she was meeting a client in the lobby, and I was playing piano in the lobby.
Right.
So then we met again, and then slowly, it took a long time. Really, I'm a slow worker. Seriously, I'm a very slow worker. So only when I crashed that time I had a Renault sports car, and I crashed it. I totaled a sports car. Then I was looking for someone to value it, because I want to scrap it. Then I look at the card and say, "Oh, City Valuers." I didn't know she was in real estate.
Building, no.
I know. So I said, "Hey, values, maybe car also they value lah." So I called her. I said, "Do you all value cars or not?" She said, No, we are just doing a property.
But don't bluff lah. You jaga chance to call her.
Jaga chance.
Looking for the opportunity just to call Wendy. Am I right?
Probably.
So you said that Wendy's your muse. Yeah. So who's your music hero?
Music hero when I was young, I used to listen to a lot of Chick Corea.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of my big influences when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
So Chick Corea, Miles Davis, and Bill Evans. These are the three primary influences I had in jazz. Yeah. For rock, I love Led Zeppelin. So I had a lot of heroes, not just one hero. Rock, I love Led Zeppelin.
I've never seen you as a rock guy, man.
Yeah, I was playing in the rock band, man.
Huh?
I was playing before I went into music as a professional. I was playing in a rock band.
Sorry, I can't.
Started off in secondary school in a rock band, playing Led Zeppelin, Uriah Heep, Black Sabbath, and all that.
Gypsy Queen, Uriah Heep.
Heavy stuff,
Okay.
My daughter has developed the mind map from him.
Oh yeah, my daughter. Yeah. I was surprised one day when I said, "Let's try this song, Kashmir from Led Zeppelin." And I played the introduction and she went, ba-da-da, 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 da-da-da, da-da-da-dee, da-da-da-da. I said, hey, how come you... So I said, now I found your true passion. You're a rock violinist.
Why did she pick the violin anyway, man?
I wanted to teach her piano.
Yes.
But she doesn't want to play the piano or the flute because her daddy and mommy plays these instruments.
Yes.
So from young, she
wants to be different.
veered to violin. She likes violin.
She likes Quincy from Little Einstein.
Quincy from Little Einstein. So like,
Oh,
he plays
you mean
musical.
the Little Einstein kidding show? Little Einstein. Oh my
Quincy
God.
plays the trumpet and the violin.
So she got influenced by that.
So she just plays the violin, right?
Yeah. But she did a little bit of piano. I taught her when she was younger. But she doesn't want to pursue piano. She pursued violin all the way.
Right.
Yeah. Just the early grades only she did the piano.
Right. Were you ever into rock?
I was listening to my brother's rock album.
Yeah.
Every evening after work, he will blast.
But did you like it?
I like the Deep Purple and I actually like the album sleeves. They're so cool.
So the sleeve designs.
Yes.
Oh yeah, those days I sleeve designs.
Hey,
Yeah,
man.
it's so cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely.
But
I think
LPs are in already. No,
it's
last
back.
few days, yeah.
I mean, have you guys been to the recent, the new Sweely in Clarke Quay?
Not yet.
Oh my,
There's a
you
new
should.
Huge. It's
Let
huge,
me.
yeah.
I don't know why. The second time we're giving these people publicity. You better freaking pay me, okay?
Yeah.
Right now, Sweely in Clarke Quay. See, free advertising. Kai, we gotta stop this shit, Kai. You know, free advertising and all that. Okay.
Yeah.
When you go down there, right?
Yeah.
It was impressive, man. I mean, you go in there, they got a full-on cafe.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and with food and cakes and coffee and
I
shit.
must go there
And
and
it's
try,
really
right?
good shit.
Yeah.
Okay. You go in there, usual things, of course, you see your guitars lined up.
Yeah.
But they've got...
Oh, it's a lifestyle thing, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
And they've got rooms, soundproof rooms, that you pay an obscene amount of money, I gotta say, to book for your private parties.
Oh.
But it's completely like a skiff. You know what skiff means? Hey, man, no sound. Right? It's really, really soundproof.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. And then they've got vinyls, all the LPs.
Wow, fantastic. Yeah.
It's like a library. I mean, it's not a huge library.
Yeah.
So it's a surprising thing is you see a lot of young people,
Of
real
course,
young
yeah,
people, doing what we used to do when you go to Dada Records or Valentine's and
Yes.
you know, records, right? And then they take a record. You sit down. Each section of the table there is a turntable.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you sit down with your cake, your coffee. Your entitlement is 1 hour.
Wow, fantastic.
So you put the LP there, put the headphones on, and you play.
Oh, I must go
And you
there. That's my
eat
next.
your cake and you drink your coffee.
That's my next hangout, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty freaking brilliant if you ask me, right? And then nowadays, you know, people like Sweetie, they also have a section that sells studio equipment for podcasts.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Of course, yeah.
And cameras and stuff and
yeah.
all that. And surprisingly, again, in their showcase, they're selling small little cassette players.
Yes, cassette players.
Cassettes, man.
Wow.
Yeah. So I got to say that it's a place that you can really go there and just kick back a little bit, listen to an LP, privately, have your coffee, your cake, be surrounded by stuff you love. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys have the same. See that drop again? Stop playing with my...
I didn't touch it.
Bonnie, stop playing with my...
Buffer.
And somebody say, having your cake and eat it, then it drops.
You see?
So
Either it agrees or disagrees.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool, you know. I mean, LPs are back with a vengeance. As a matter of fact,
And it's the young people who brought it back. No,
Yeah,
not,
I mean-
not the older guys. No?
but you look at it today. You know, in our day, towards the end of the life of LPs, before the
cassette.
CDs and
Cassette and CD, yeah.
CDs and LDs and all came up, right? All the little silvery discs, yeah. Towards that part, that's when vinyl makers started getting a little smarter, but they unfortunately died in a premature death.
Exactly.
And then they started having different colored LPs and stuff, right? Nice multicolored stuff. Well, more often than not, throughout most of the years, you had just simple black records. What's colorful would be like what Wendy said. The LP designs, the sleeves are like, wow, gorgeous, yeah.
And then
now you have it now these days.
And all that. Yeah.
Oh wow! You take a look at the vinyl, like what the hell did they press this?
Yeah.
You know, and it's really nice.
Yes.
So it's the hype is back. I'm glad that it is, to be fair, because if you ask me, if you have a jock, a DJ, right, who plays in a club, or even for private gigs, and you put, if you're telling me you're using your tractor
Spotify
or you're using your digital stuff and all that, oh, I'm a DJ, I will say, well, you are if you know how to spin vinyls.
Yes.
Well,
that's a real DJ.
Then you are a real DJ. If not, bollocks to you.
Others you're pretending.
Yeah, bollocks. You know, and then if you know how to be, you can do a talk set on a mic as a DJ in a club. You can do your announcements.
Yep.
Then and do it well. Then I say, yeah, you are a true DJ.
Yeah.
If not, get lost.
Yeah.
Because nowadays DJs don't talk anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, enough about me bitching about these. So I spill something for me, man. I mean, you guys have how many years you been playing? Performing?
I can't remember, but I started in 78, so you count.
Alamak. Hey, Kai, calculate for me. I failed my maths. 78, 78 and 88 and then
professionally, I started not learning,
Walao, 40. Walao. Close to 50 years, huh?
Close to.
Huh?
46 years.
46 years, bro.
Okay, I also can't remember.
Almost as old as me, bro.
It feels like yesterday.
Yes.
That is so cliche. Yesterday once more. Bro.
Yesterday once more.
Yeah,
hey, but Chris, you realize,
This is the end of chapter 1. Catch chapter 2 next week.